Hi everybody. So I'm a little late, like I think 5 minutes, but my dogs decided they wanted to go out. So here I am. So I'm going to show you how to make the bunny that I make with the heart-shaped Dollar Tree's heart-shaped wreath frame, and we're going to use an 8-inch wreath frame. Now, I pre-recorded, and I'll post it after the live is finished. I pre-recorded how to make the bow, a terry bow that we're going to use on it, because just to save some time. So, and a big thank you to a great friend that I have become very good friends with, is Mandy Curie, for all her help. She's a wonderful mentor and a very talented woman, and I love her to death and can't wait till June when I can meet all of the ladies in our group too. But Mandy's been a huge help. She's a great teacher. So anyway, let's do the list of supplies that you're going to need for this. Again, you're going to need the heart-shaped wreath because we're going to turn it upside down, and we're going to use the bottom to put the paw prints or the paws on, and then the 8-inch wreath, and I'm going to wreath ring, and I'm going to show you how to attach that with a dowel. You need an 8-inch dowel. I also pre-cut the ribbon for each of the frames. This is the ribbon I'm going to wrap on the frame, and it's going to be 2 yards that I'm going to use for the little one, and 4 yards I'm using for the heart shape to wrap. But I can't wrap it until I put it on, until I attach it with the dowel. Give me just a second here to get to my, so I can see the comments. And then we're going to use, we've got the terry bow, and we also will have some pipe cleaners that we'll use, and I think that that's good to start with. And what we're going to make is, we're going to make this bunny, okay? But this bunny's bow was made with 2.5, it's a terry bow, made with the 2.5-inch, 3 2.5-inch and 3 1.5-inch bows, or ribbon, I'm sorry. But because it covers up his face too much, I'm going to do all 1.5-inch ribbons. So hopefully it won't cover up his face so much. And the ears. I got these ears from Hobby Lobby, and they were $9.99 originally, but I got them on sale for $5.99. But I did go online and check for a lady in our group, Kathy, and they were all sold out. So I also made this little guy from a tutorial that live that Regina Sellers did with her invention with the featherless boa. So, love them both. Okay, so I think I covered all the supplies. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take the 8-inch frame, and I'm going to put it, let's see, I think it was this way. It's hard, I'm doing it backwards. Let me do it and then turn it around. Yes, so it goes into, and I put it between two of the bars. The 8-inch wreath frame, again, the heart one is from Dollar Tree, but the 8-inch I think I ordered online. And so I'm going to get this positioned where I want it. And then I'm going to take the dowel and we're going to just go from the bottom, and it really makes it tight. And we're going to go all the way to the top. So I'm going to turn this down so you can see what I'm doing. Then you get to look at my boobs, okay? All right, I'm trying to get this. Okay, there we go. So this should be really tight, but I still anchor it because I don't want it to come apart. So now I've put this dowel in, and I've kind of gone underneath this center bar, okay? And then again, I've gone underneath this piece here, but then I'm going in the 8-inch ring underneath the 2 center rings, and again at the top 2 center rings, okay? And the 8-inch works good. And I think I did on the other one, once I got it anchored, I trimmed this piece off so that when I wrapped the ribbon, I didn't have to try to go around this. So I believe that I do trim this off. But I'm going to zip tie. Get me a couple zip ties, and I'm going to zip tie them to the frame. And I'm going to do it from the back side because I just want to make sure that's level up at top. And then I am going to cut that off once I get the zip ties on. So I'm going to do a zip tie here. And the reason I'm doing the dowel is because this way I can use the center to fill in with a mesh, and so cut them off. I got one there. And I'm going to do one in the center, probably a couple in the center. And this way it just prevents it from moving. And just secures it. Trying to see some of the comments too, so I can keep track of. And if my friend Mandy, who has really been a part of helping me and with her ideas, and her and I working together with really developing this together, and she's also got one that she's done from the same idea or the concept that she will show you after the live is adorable, just adorable. So again, I will we will share that. And like I said, I will post my tutorial I did on how to make the terry bow for this bunny. And I got one more up here. And we'll have him secured. Okay. Let's see. So, there he is. This is the front, or she, whichever you want to call her. Boy, girl. Easter could be any, I guess, any bunny. So, in fact, Kevin and I, my husband and I, were coming home from my sister's yesterday from dinner. It was dark, and 2 bunnies we passed on the road. So it seems like the bunnies are out, and my girl, my little Riley Ann, she's a little Chihuahua, she spotted one out by the fence, and every day now she's got to go out there and check that out. So I wanted to cut this piece off. If I don't cut my hand, I don't have the right tool for it. Oh, we're breaking it off. Whoops. Hit my phone. Sorry. Okay, so that's gone. Just going to trim off some of these pieces here. So, okay, so now I'm going to get myself situated. Now I'm going to, thank you, Deanna. Also, Mandy, I was going to say if you could help me with answering any questions, as this is my first live on my page, and to anybody else other than Mandy. So I'm going to try and do what I can for answering the questions. So I'm going to wrap the bottom one first, and I'm going to use the this is again 4 yards, and this is 2.5, and I believe on the last one I did it was a 1.5. I'm going to start down here, and I folded on the wreath frame, and I don't necessarily glue that one first, but I should have kept this all rolled up because it's easier to pass this through in and out, because this wreath frame is so much fun to keep feeding the ribbon through. So I put my little clip on here. One of these little, I love these things, and I sew, and these are great instead of pins. Oh my gosh. Love, love, love these. So I'm going to start wrapping my frame. And you can use, you know, any color ribbon, but I think, as Mandy and I said, is the pastels are probably your best bet for. I'm just going to anchor that there. And I really should be working from the front, and somehow I've got this on the back because you want to see what it looks like from the front. So let me flip this over. And you want to pull it really tight. And I couldn't believe all the comments I've gotten on this. Over 700, or it was this morning, over 700 comments on this bunny. And one of the comments that was made was that it looked like a ruffle. That when you filled the mesh in here, they wanted to know how I got the ruffle on the edge. And I'm thinking, ruffle? There's not a ruffle. But what they were talking about was it does at a glance, if you look at the one that I did yesterday, it does look like a ruffle almost. So, let's get this thing going. I keep hitting my phone. But, as Mandy will tell you too, this is not fun to wrap. And I was thinking maybe I should wrap it first, but then it's not, if you wrap it first, it's not going to, you won't be able to get all this stuff in there. So, and I don't worry too much about the center, because this is where I'm going to put his bow, because all of the attaching is going to go on here. So again, I don't worry too much about the center. clips, these are really cool. They are, they come in different colors. In fact, I started using them when I was making those pot holder kind of things. They're all different colors, but they're great. They replace pins, which I have two girls, two dogs, and I don't want to be afraid of dropping a pin on the floor and hear horror stories of, you know, my dog's gotten a pin and swallowed it. So yeah. Sorry, Mandy. Yeah, these little humps on the end are and if this opens up, or if you have an area that opens up when you're doing this, you can simply just take your hot glue gun and glue it closed. And there is my last piece. Got a spot right there. So again, your mesh, and like I said, you can always use the glue gun. Just want to kind of make it look even. I kind of, you know, seeing this ribbon on the spool and thinking, oh, how's this going to look? I'm kind of liking it. My ribbon there. And now I've got my glue gun on. I'm going to fold this just a little bit. Joann's, I don't know if Joann's, but I'll tell you, I got mine on Amazon. I was looking for something, some sewing thing, and I can't even remember. I think they were those clips that you use for, I'm going to trim this a little bit. The clips that you use for floral displays. These little ones, these are kind of little, but these are real tiny. I use them for my ribbon to when I've got part of a spool. I use them for my ribbon to keep the spool from unraveling. So that's what they look like. Well, I was looking for those on Amazon, and those little clips came up. And pretty cool. Alright, so this, I hot glue gunned that down. Hot glued it. Okay. So I use this little, this is pretty cool. It's a knitting needle. It's quite long, but it's really good to, and the glue comes off of it quickly too. I'm showing you all my tips. To get the, sometimes to hold the thing down until, or the ribbon down until it's, the hot glue gun can take hold. Okay, so we have, again, the first part done, but this part will be able to hide with the mesh. And the other thing I gotta get is my X-Acto knife. So now we're going to wrap the top, because then we're going to put pipe cleaners 2 across here. And the reason I don't do those first is because I didn't want to have to try to get the ribbon around it. So I actually use my X-Acto knife to make a little hole and pull this through and anchor it. Okay? So we'll do that when, and I don't need any pipe cleaners up here because this is pretty close. So I just put them on the pole, on the dowel. So we can go back to and anchor all this stuff. So now I'm going to take this one, which I said was 2 yards, and again, starting in probably in the conspicuous spot, but what am I making? Hi Joan, hi Pam, hi Rhonda, Mandy, of course, and so again, we're going to just, that's the other thing too, when I was figuring out getting my stuff ready to do this, the other problem is that I wanted to measure how much ribbon I was going to use or need for this, because of the dowel in the center of this ring, you can't get a ribbon on a spool. Let's just use this for example. You can't get it through here. So you're going to have to pre-cut your ribbon that you're going to use on here. So that you can get it through the hole. Hi Sandy. Hi Rhonda. All my Wreath buddies from our group are here to join me. I've got most of the mesh already tied. I keep hitting the phone. I'm sorry. I'm looking over here at the at my tablet and not paying attention. So I want to be sure that I cover that dowel. Can everybody see this okay? Everybody hear me okay? Yeah, Deanna, I was, Dina, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. I wasn't sure when I first looked at this ribbon if it was going to be a good choice, but I love the pink that I used on the one earlier. And the other thing too is it looks like I might have got a little short on this ribbon, so the other thing I can do is we can always glue, because the bow is going to go here. So hi, is that Layton from Mississippi? I used to live in Mississippi. I lived, when I first moved down to Mississippi, I married a gentleman who was in the Navy, and he was stationed in Pascagoula, Mississippi. And then we bought our first home in Goshen, Mississippi. Then we were there for several years, and then we bought a home in Moss Point. Then we divorced, and he's still there. He's from Rochester, too. I'm from Rochester, New York. Actually grew up in a little town north of here on the Lake Ontario. And went to school here, and then married when I was 18 and moved to Mississippi for 19 years. And then when we divorced, there was no reason for me to stay. So I moved back to my home so I could spend time with my family and be with my family. So here's kind of the back of it. And right now I've just glued everything in place. And now I probably should take a piece of that ribbon and Gulfport, yes, no Gulfport. And I left in 97, so I was fortunate to not be there during Katrina. I had been there during several hurricanes in my 19 years. I hate piecemealing, and I did shorten that. It's too short. So I would say 3 yards, just to be sure that I paused. How come I'm paused on my replay? Just to be safe, I would say you want to do at least 3 yards. Thank you for sharing, Mandy. Deanna? Welcome. I've just cut this too short, but that's okay. Like I said, this is I will this will get covered with the bow and mesh. There's mesh going to go in here as well. So I think we'll start down here. So down at the bottom, I'm going to do two pipe cleaners across so that I can put my mesh on. And I believe we're going to need 15 bunches of mesh that are, what I did was I did 3 10-inch using the 5, I don't know if this is 5.5 or what this is, 6, this is 5-inch mesh, okay? And so I do them in 5 inches by 10 inches long. So how I'm going to do this is I take my little X-Acto knife, be very, very, very careful, and I punch it down in here. I push my pipe cleaner down. Okay, and then I'm going to go over here, make my hole. And the reason I kind of left that little thing in there was because it kind of, see, now I don't know where the hole is. And then I hot glue gun, I will glue the holes so that they don't unravel, the ribbon doesn't unravel. So there's that one. Okay, and we pull them through. Alright, and this one too. I thought I'd pull this one through, but I guess it didn't go all the way through. Let's try that again. Please be careful with your X-Acto knives too. Very dangerous. And then I pull it really tight, and then I just wrap it off. Same with this side, we're going to wrap it. And you want to make sure that it's very tight. And I just wrap it around the remainder of the... Okay, and same here. I'm going to come down about here. Okay. Now I can put this away. I'm done with it. Because again, like I said, I don't need a pipe cleaner up there on top. Okay, and then I'm just going to put a little bit of glue and we're on the back side. Okay. All right, so let me let that dry a minute. Okay. Just wanted that to dry a minute so that we can do the mesh. But while that's drying, let's do this. I've already done up 13 of the meshes we need, but I didn't do the ruffle, and I think next time I will. I'm going to get a sip of my coffee. So I cut 3 mesh that are 10 inches long. This is 5-inch mesh, and I roll. Okay, I hold one in the hand, roll. Put another one. I'm sorry, I don't use the roll method. I'm sorry. I actually use the scrunching or ruffle, but it's just a 10-inch ruffle. Okay, sorry about that. I'm not real impressed with this mesh. It came from Michael's, but I'm not real impressed with it. This seems very cheap. And then I just take a pipe cleaner and tighten it. Okay, so we do that again. Again, this is the ruffle, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. I just scrunch it up. I'm not sure where that comment's coming from, but did my video freeze? Because I see it as frozen. But you tell me, Mandy, tell me. Okay, Kathy, we'll see you later. Thanks a lot. All right, so and it's just not too bad. It doesn't look too bad, but I just don't like all the fraying that it does with it. So there's those. So this should be dry enough. I can flip it over. And now I'm just going to start adding, I'm going to put one right here in the center of I'm going to put one right there. Tie it to my dowel, or, you know, I'm going to put another one under it. And keep in mind, I only made one yesterday, so I'm going from memory. Okay, good. And then let me tell you the difference with why I use the 3 instead of the ruffle on some things. I'm just trying to get my basket. Is because when you're putting them on there, so that the center doesn't, you can adjust these, and because they're individual pieces, you can adjust it. You see how, you know, being that they're individual, you know, pieces. So 3 individual pieces is how. I gotta find my other pipe cleaner here. There it is. And you can turn these any way you want. I guess I better stay the. Now I'm putting them on the... Thank you, Deanne. Is it snowing? It was earlier this morning. In fact, all the snow was gone yesterday, pretty much, except for like in parking lots and stuff where they had pushed all the snow up into a big pile. So it was kind of like green, you know, green or brown or whatever. And the center one here, I'm going to crisscross across the dowel and the pipe cleaner that I put in there. But this morning we wake up and we've got a dusting of snow. So, yeah, see, this is the problem with some of this cheap stuff. So, I will trim off, and I can do that at the end too, is I trim off some of that stuff that's fraying. Again, I'll post the piece with the ribbon as well. It was a beautiful snowfall last night. Joan, where are you? I don't remember. Oh, you guys, Laura, you must have got more snow than we did because we've got just a dusting, and we're close to the lake, so maybe it wasn't a lake effect snow. So, yeah, it just did a dusting. And I think I'm going to put one more. And the thing that I kept trying to do was I wanted the little humps, or whatever you want to call these on the bottom. I wanted to keep this so that it was showed, so it showed. And originally I had started to do this with a, gosh, I can't remember now what I had started with, but then I tried to pull through with a mesh, and it covered up this, and I didn't want it covered up. So that's why I ended up doing the ribbon, because the whole idea was to use this heart-shaped wreath as my bunny and use the bumps for his feet, his paws, and you lost it when you tried to do it, use anything other than just wrapping the frame with something. Now you probably could wrap it with burlap. I may have to do some more of these little guys. I just like it to be full. Right now I had done 15 of them, but if we've got to cut some more, we can cut some more. Because I got to use some for the top, for his face. Unless we could figure out something else for the face. So yeah, and that's, it looks like it's sun shining out. I just have this little, I'm in my basement. This is where my craft room is. So I have this little thing, the window to look out. And I was talking to Mandy this morning. I look over there and there's a cat in the little, it's like a, from the outside there's like a galvanized steel that goes around the basement window. So then there's like a little gully in there, so I think that's for drain on. Well, it's for the where the window is in the basement, because up here we get up in the north we get to have basements. I just got a couple more to put on the bottom, but you can see how this is filling in, and adorable. And then we just need, I think, 3 of them up here. Not sure, and I may have to do. So this is the back of it. Couple more of these. Pull in the driveway to a gorgeous glistening snow. And Joan, I asked for you about an hour and a half south of you and Laura. Oh, cool. Yeah, I think I'm going to use all 15 of them down here on the bottom, because you don't want any gaps. Now you could probably use, Mandy, what did you use on yours? Did you do a 20-inch, cut and do the ruffle, 20-inch mesh ruffles? And one more right here. I'm not. You're not what? No, you're not jealous that we've got snow? Poor Mandy, she's had some experience with driving up here. Alright, ladies, so this is the bottom. And again, we'll play with it, but that's the bottom. And we got to make sure that we don't cover up this little bump thing. So sometimes I'll tuck or I'll trim, but we'll work on that. So then I've got to do, sorry, but I've got to do probably 3 or 4 more pieces of the mesh. So, yeah, I know, jealous of the snow. I know. I knew that's what you meant, Mandy, because I know you're not jealous of the snow. So, again, I'm going to cut these 10 inches long. My little rotary cutter. There's one. $20 inch. Okay, good. But I had started doing it this way, and then I tried to do the 20-inch, and it looked too skinny. So I said I got to stay consistent with how I'm putting the mesh together. So that's why I did the continued to do it this way. In fact, this was the way I used to do my wreaths when I first started doing wreaths, and then I've learned so much from all my friends and my wreath group, and so that's how many we're going to do for right now. Let's see if that's enough. So again, I'm going to scrunch them up. Pipe cleaners. Got a little tray here. My pipe cleaners. For me, is Rochester, but we do also go to Buffalo. Sometimes you can get a better. The cost of a flight is cheaper out of Buffalo, but Rochester's not been too bad with competition, so I think that that's an option as well. So I let my girls out, so it must be they're quiet upstairs. My little Riley Ann, she was whining because she wanted to go out, check out the bunny, see if the bunny's out there. So the first thing she does, runs over there to the shed. And yeah, I have a shed too, Mandy, but mine, it's not mine, it's my husband's, and that's all his stuff in there. Of course, he'll tell me it's all my shit in there. Excuse me. I didn't say that word, did I? Is there a bleep on here? I'm sorry. I don't typically swear. In fact, today, that's why I decided to do my live this morning, because my husband got upset with me because I've taken over the basement, and I've taken over all his... In fact, I think I hear him upstairs. So he's moving upstairs, and I get the rest of the basement. And so, one more. We can finish off the top. Beep. You are a trip. Okay, so let's finish off this guy. you can turn these any which way you want. On here, we can fluff it up. Yeah, 5 should be enough. So actually, instead of 15, you need 20 bunches, and so I will update my 20 bunches. Alright, one more, and then we're ready to attach the ears and the feet. So, again, I got these at Hobby Lobby. I ordered them online. Our nearest Hobby Lobby is Webster. I don't know, Laura, do we have one in Henrietta? I don't go to Henrietta much. I work in the city, and more have to go to Webster because I'm directionally challenged, so I get lost easy, even if I've got my GPS on. So, all right, so that's what we've got so far. Maybe I turn this up a little bit. This is what we've got so far. Okay, so now we're going to take the ribbon, or the bows, not the bows, I'm sorry, the ears and the paws. I should save that because it's got a brand on it. Comes in 2 separate pieces, and I'm going to first put the feet on. I actually started to pull this one apart, so I think I'm going to finish with that. Cut them in 2, and then I'm going to cut this little piece off. I'm going to turn him over, and now let's see how this looks. Because this comes out, I ended up doing 2 holes with my X-Acto knife and running a pipe cleaner through it. So I did 2 holes. There's a little piece of wire in there. I did 1 long pipe cleaner. I know that looks terrible, doesn't it? But I wanted my pipe cleaner. And then 1 here. Thank you, Joan. Okay, so then it looks, I did it like this, so that I've got my pipe cleaner. And then I hot glue gun. I hot glue. I don't know why I keep saying gun. And I put the hot glue right here. You can see it's steaming, right? And oh, wow, that's hot. Very hot. I've got my little fingers, but I don't use them. So we'll just hold that here there a minute. Oh, that hurt. I blistered it. Till that takes hold. And then we use the pipe cleaner to attach it up here. and I'll use that to hold it. Let's see, poor Bunny have done worse by bears. Yes, she has. Rhonda, you're going to make me feel bad. Okay. Oh, boy, that burned. That was very hot, ladies. It was very hot. I'm sure it burned my finger. Good. It's hurting. Okay. Now I can't see the comments. Oh, there it goes. I'll have to swipe it this way, girls. Let's see. The number next to the live, does that mean that's how many people are watching? Alright, so we're going to pull this one out too. Throw it away. And get me another pipe cleaner. I want to make sure I got the right side. The only reason I leave that in there is because it helps me guide the pipe cleaner back through. This one's not going in as easy. And my pipe cleaner keeps bending. Hold on, ladies. Alright, I think I found it. Okay, there we go. And then we got one more to do. And that one I think is through also. Okay, let's put the cover on this and put it away. Okay, so I think I put this on backwards, so you know what? I'm going to fish it back through the other way. Pull this one out, because I think I pulled it through that this is the front of my bunny's paw. Alright, so let's see if we can do this without burning my fingers. I'm going to put this guy, these little guys on. And I'm going to put the hook on. I hear pitter-patters of my girls. Try to get it in line with the other one so that they're kind of at the same spot. My husband's decided he's ready to move his furniture, and I'm finishing up my live. So you want to make sure that they're at the same spot on the hump things. Okay, just going to let that dry. That was better this time. I didn't burn my fingers. Should have done that the first time. All right. So then I'm going to attach the pipe cleaners. Make sure they don't fall off. We can trim the pipe cleaners later. And so he's playing with a little cup. I hear her. All right, so we've got the little feet on. Get the little feet on. And so I don't want to get too much of this mesh to take away from the frame. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is put the ears on. And that one's a little easier to do. And again, we're going to take this piece off. Hi, Mary. And so unwind these. And then all we've got left to do is touch-ups and to put the bow on. And take some of my glue. And I think the bow is going to look adorable, but it won't cover up his face. So we got to do that. Put all this glue on my... All right. So the ears also have to go behind the frame. We'll turn it over. Turn the ears over. Make sure we've got them lined up. And again, I'm going to hot glue gun those. Or hot glue. Not hot glue. Somehow I've got that in my little head. Riley Ann wants to get up behind my back here. So we're going to put the glue behind the ears here, or on the front of the ears actually. Just flip it up to make sure we're doing right. Again, we're going to anchor, use these little wires that came with it to anchor it. So I'm going to show you. Maybe have to push this back a little bit, just bear with me while I'm getting my... So there's the ears. I got the ears and the feet from Hobby Lobby online. I ordered them online. And They were $9.99 and they had them on sale for $5.99. Okay, so all we got left is just kind of clean this up a little bit. And I'm going to anchor these in the back here underneath the number next to the live. Does that tell you how many people are on your live? Is that what that is? Okay, well, there's my bunny. And then I always take a little pipe cleaner, one of these half ones, I cut them in half. And I loop it and twist it. And then I'll put hot glue on it and put it on the back to hang it. So then, now let's add the bow. So again, I did a tutorial on doing a terry bow, and so that it didn't take up so much time for doing this. And you're going to have to go right here in the middle. So let me see if I can do this backwards. And I take the two ribbons, and let me do it this way. And you go around his neck, her neck, his neck, and we anchor it really tight. And again, we'll finish that off. I just don't want to take up a lot of the time with the video or the live. And again, I'll clean this all up in the back. But there's the bow. So now, this one's a little better. So yes, I think that using the all 1.5 for the bow is a much better idea, because now you don't have it covering the face. And I'm just going to turn it around so I can play with this a little bit. And I want to pull those down. And make sure all the ribbons are pointed down or to the side, the tails, so that his face isn't covered up so much. Gap in here. Again, you want to make sure all your bows are fluffed, or your loops are fluffed. So, that's my bunny. Here's my bunny. What you think, ladies? Here's my little bad little Zoe down on the floor. Thank you, Rhonda. Yeah, you know, I should have pinned at the top the supplies, but I mentioned the supplies, so I'm sorry. I should have pinned those so that everybody, and I find that most people still ask, even when you post it, they still ask the same question. So, thank you, Mary, Laura. Thank you for watching my live, but I like this. I like the color combinations on this one. And again, you want to make sure that you keep the effect of the loops on the bottom. Otherwise, you could just use any frame. Okay? And then you could bend his little ears however you want. That's nice too. And, maybe it's hard to put a face on this, It's hard to put, like a nose or anything, but maybe you could. But make it your own, And then, like I said, I'll clean up the back. And I went through and, listed all the supplies and stuff. So, thank you, Joan. Did I pin my Etsy page? Do you pin your Etsy page? I didn't, but I can. Yes, I could. I haven't put him on Etsy yet. But I will pin it. I will afterwards. I'll go in and pin it. Okay, ladies, so that's all I got. I thank you for watching, and it looks like, I don't know how long this took, but anyway, have a great Sunday, and I will see you guys later. Thank you.